Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and I know this video is a little late, but had a meeting today I couldn't get out of, so still wanted to get Xur up for you guys. So we are on Xur, we are at the Giant Scar landing zone, so let's drive over to his location and check out what he's got. So if you guys didn't catch the Last Word podcast this morning, it was a shorter one just because I also had to run in the morning, so just kind of a full day for me, but it will be up on audio platforms later this weekend, so stay tuned for that one. But you guys know you guys can always find that one, just honestly Google the Last Word. I'll have the YouTube up probably tomorrow, and audio should be up as well on pretty much everything, Google, Spotify, and all that stuff. So we are here, he's in the cave, and a couple things to make note. The tower should be fixed on Tuesday, so if you do want to pick this one up, you should be able to work on this one, potentially if it's like adjusted on the fly server side, which they're supposed to do. This one should be fixed on Tuesday with the patch. So you could pick it up now, finish it on Tuesday, and then hopefully be ready for Friday next week. I think as long as you do it before Thursday, it still should count. So my advice, pick it up so then you can knock it out earlier and then just be ready to kind of get back on track next week. But that will not be fixed or patched until Tuesday, May 7th with patch 2.2.2. So go ahead and grab that one. Remember, your Isokernel or your Faded Engram is going to be able to get you exotics through Forsaken, but none of the annual pass stuff because those are separate. But this will get you anything that did launch with Forsaken and obviously, of course, everything in Destiny Year 1. So that is it. So let's check out the gear. We've got Huckleberry, which is honestly a fun gun to use. Some machine guns are always in kind of a weird spot. Do they have uses? Do they not? Obviously, Recluse is good, but that one's quite specific. This one is fun in very specific places. So what does it do? Ride the Bull. Increased rate of fire and recoil while you're holding down the trigger. Kills with this weapon reload a portion of the magazine. And it's got Rampage on it. And if you get the Masterwork, or the Catalyst, it's even better because it will refill the entire magazine. You'll have Rampage up. You can just keep firing. So if you have a point where you have a lot of ads, and some places this makes sense more than others now, but it actually was really fun to use in Blindwell to a point when you had a lot of those ads running at you. Basically any horde mode type areas, it actually is kind of fun to use, but it does need to have that continual usage the whole time. Sometimes I wish like Rampage lasted a little longer, or even the perk of like the speed, it wouldn't have to kind of ramp up the speed as it goes. So it's a cool gun. If you don't have it yet, honestly, it has some cool ornaments to it. If you haven't seen them yet, they're definitely a lot of fun. And it's a cool gun. Maybe it'll get a crazy buff later. Never know. But it is a fun one to use. The handling is pretty decent. Stability is not bad. Overall, it's a fun gun to use. Just seems to have very specific spots. It's a submachine gun. Range, obviously, isn't going to be terribly far. But its best use is fighting lots of ads that you can keep killing to reload that magazine and keep it working. So all that pretty much wraps up the Huckleberry, but yeah, it's fun. If you got the shards, add it to your collection, you know, go for all of them. For the Hunter, we've got Gemeni Jester. Now, the Revelry will end on Tuesday, so people have been having a lot of fun with these, and you may be like, why? Well, misdirection. Dodging disorients nearby enemies and temporarily removes their radar. So if you disorient them and remove their radar, especially in something like PvP, if you're close to somebody in kind of a punching battle, or you come around a corner and you know somebody's waiting, do that dodge, disorient them, actually has some cool effects. Now, there are better exotics for hunters for sure, but if you do like dodging, if you want to go for a Paragon mod for a lot of class abilities, things like that, this one can be fun. People have been spamming the crap out of this in the Revelry currently, just because you can turn your melee ability or your class ability up really, really high, so you can pretty much dodge and blind people forever, which has some fun, but overall is going to probably be outshined by some others. But this is one that, like, if you do like dodging, you're playing that playstyle, you like to get up and aggressive and things like that, it actually can have some fun uses to it. We've got Fusion Rifle Dexterity, Hand Cannon Dexterity, and Outreach with Shotgun Scavenger and Special Ammo Finder. So that pretty much wraps up the Hunter. For the Titan, almost said Warrior, but that's about the same thing, we've got the Antaeus Wards. Now, they look cool, without a doubt. I always kind of like how they look. Sadly, they're very, very specific. You guys may have remembered these. Reflective Vents. Improved Slide. Sliding reflects incoming projectiles. Reflecting projectiles grants super energy. So, it's really hard to time this one. To slide, you have to be running in the first place. Now, if you're running around, it's basically good for montages, mostly more than anything. If you're able to run, reflect a Nova Bomb back at somebody, that might actually be kind of cool. But being able to actually use this properly, I don't know if it's been patched or is going to be patched on Tuesday, but I think the sliding mechanic is better with these as well. But generally, these are ones that you're not going to be able to get a lot out of. It's not like I'm going to be able to bounce a lot of things back, or be able to always time it, or be at a point where I can run long enough that I can sprint and then be able to slide. So a lot of factors go into that one, but if you're just like an aggressive player in PvP, again, running all around the map and you see somebody shoot something at you, you can reflect things back. It may not reflect perfectly at them, but you definitely can do some interesting things with these, but mostly if you want to go for a montage build more than anything, I think. Same perks here as they are boots. Basically, we've got the same perks. So Fusion Rifle, Dexterity, Hand Cannon, Outreach, Scout Rifle, and Special Ammo Finder. We're still waiting to see about the random rolls on these. Me and another guy on Twitter keep joking about this, but generally, if it's boots, they're all going to have the same perks. Finally, for the Warlocks, we've got another Forsaken Exotic. So this is a Forsaken Exotic, so if you're looking to complete your collection, you can get those. But for the Warlock, Contraverse Hold. So as you guys can tell, kind of weird to see a space chest, but that's kind of a thing. But what do we got? So Chaotic Exchanger. Resist incoming damage while charging your Void Grenade with Chaos Accelerant, Feed the Void, or Handheld Supernova. Charged Void Grenades return a random amount of grenade energy on hit. Wish it wasn't random. That'd kind of give it a little more. But as you're charging it, you actually are resistant to damage. And then if you throw it, I don't know if this thing can be paired with Devour at all. This could be a pretty interesting build, though, if you put it all together. Now, one thing to consider, even if you don't love just what it does, but maybe you run Void sometimes, if you have Skull of Dire Ahamkar, it's still a beast with Slova Bomb, so that one's still pretty cool. But if you like your Void Grenades and charging them up and using those that way, this one could have some fun. And if you're looking for any gauntlets with some nice perks, Sniper Rifle Scavenger and Machine Gun Scavenger, especially machine guns, as those are still pretty powerful right now. Hammerhead is everywhere in Gambit. I got done playing a lot of that recently. Scavenger is almost better sometimes, because if you do get a heavy ammo brick to pop, instead of getting like, 60 from the brick on the wall, I'll get like 88 by having Scavenger on. So definitely a good thing to have if you're running that at all. Fusion Rifle Loader, Hand Cannon Loader, and Impact Induction are your middle perks. So it's a cool one. It definitely works with the grenades and the charging ability of it and things like that. So it's one of those that's specific to that Void subclass. But it is a way to mess around with grenades, have some resistance while you're charging it, get some energy back. And if you pair this with certain builds, it could be kind of fun. I'm not the expert on this one, so anybody in the comments who wants to comment below if you got some really cool builds and things, definitely spread the knowledge. But that pretty much wraps it up for Xur. So for the invitation, you can pick it up, but you still cannot do this one because you cannot do the Vex until Tuesday, till that is fixed. I don't know if doing the other pieces of this are going to be like done, if it's going to have to get repicked up. I don't know if it's going to auto-complete the Vex samples. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but as it's cheap, I would pick it up, have it in your inventory, see how it goes. If you're running strikes, the Hollowed Lair is even one of the Nightfalls this week. If you complete some of the stuff easy, maybe you'll just have it done early. So that is Xur for this week. It is May 3rd. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Follow me on Twitter if you guys haven't yet. I do try and, kind of post news and updates and, podcast, going live on Twitch, all that stuff on there. If you guys haven't followed me on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Ebontis. But right here on YouTube, if you did enjoy the video, drop a like below, leave a comment if you got questions, thoughts, opinions, good reasons to use these exotics, because I don't cover them all perfectly, and, I'm not going to claim to be the be-all, end-all expert. But other than that, you guys are amazing. We're almost at 35,000 subs, so if you haven't subbed yet, please do so, and I will see you in the next video, or maybe on my next stream. Have a good one. Enjoy your weekend.